without getting into any specific announcements that you can't get into yet about, things that you're going to be rolling out over the coming year, if you were to be able to talk directly to, our listener, people who, and we've sent cards in, through Liquor Nation, thousands of cards over the last couple of months to PSA and only PSA. If you were to say to them, you're a perfect world, you're opening back up in July, you plan on taking care of everybody out there, what is the goal for, the second, without specifics, because I know some of them you can't say yet, but the second half of 2021, what does it look like for PSA?
When's this show going to launch, by the way? Today's Monday. When is it going to?
Thursday's our plan. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll have released this. So we're going to announce we've bought a company in the computer vision grading space. So our plan, I'm a tech guy, at the end of the day, happen to be a collector too. Big part of the vision with PSA in particular is to invest in software. That's shouldn't be that much of a surprise. I mean, it's obviously needed. It's, PSA's got an amazing brand and reputation. And I think to continue that into the next 10 years or next 35 years, 35-year-old company, it's going to be as much about software as anything else. Obviously, we're going to keep hiring as many people as we can, which we're doing. We're averaging 30, 40 people a week that we're hiring, believe it or not. But yeah, computer vision grading. We're not going to eliminate graders at all. In fact, we think they're critical. We think it's a technology-assisted grading. There are certain aspects of the grading process that are not just grading, but identifying and researching the cards, detecting alterations. The grader shouldn't have to look at a card if the computer says it's trimmed, for example, or if the serial on the back of it is backdoor serial number. Why? Don't waste the grader's time. They've got clearly enough cards to grade. Might as well filter out the ones that don't have to be graded. So, or the ones that don't meet minimum grade, as another example. So anyway, point of the story is the second half of this year for PSA is going to be a lot about implementing that acquisition and growing the technology team to work on with our grading team. I would just say next generation, technology for both speeding up, but also maintaining, if not increasing, improving accuracy and consistency of the grading process, so that we, stamp out the bad actors, which, frankly, are bad for everybody, not just PSA, but more importantly, the collectors, and also, take us from the number of cards we're doing today to hopefully 2 or 3 times that. I would love to be there this time next year. So,
well, it's one way to get rid of a backlog. Right, you're trimming off some of the stuff that doesn't even have to get into a grader's hands.
No pun intended. Yeah. So honestly, trimming's actually not as big of a deal. It's a percentage of cards. It's high profile, but it's as a percentage of cards, it won't make that big of a difference for eliminating those for that they don't have to see them. That is a nice thing to have. But identifying the cards when they come in, so we're going to be announcing, taking images of every card before and after the grading process. That sort of data, training data over time as it builds and grows, is just going to allow us, if we have the right software, to just be so much better and more scalable. And again, these little things like, identifying trimming, again, it's a small issue in general. It's a very high profile one, but it's a single digit percentage or less of the cards. But there's 10 different things like that when they add up, you really start to have, meaningful impact on on the grading process from a time saved perspective, and also accuracy and consistency. So,
yeah. Right, and staying best in class, right? Because you're able to do that. People trust the uniformity of the grade. People trust the PSA label even more.
Yeah, so that's why we're number one now. I mean, look, our grading team is amazing. I mean, I've watched them do it. I mean, it's really amazing. But it's a lot of cards every day, right? And the pressure's mounting. We've got millions of cards, in the same building, just literally staring over your shoulder as a grader, even if you're unboxing or slabbing, it's a lot of pressure. I've been in the office a bunch of times since the deal, and, I feel for them. And so, they need help, and grading using technology is one way to do it. We have other things we're going to announce too. But that's one of the biggest tools in the toolbox for sure.